The office building was spotless. Every night after the last worker had gone home, David Martinez pushed his old mop bucket across the marble floors, his tired hands cracking from years of cleaning chemicals. He was a janitor, 42 years old, widowed, and raising his little daughter Emily on his own. Life hadn't been kind to David. He once dreamed of being a musician, back when he was young and life still seemed to offer promises. But those dreams died the day his wife fell sick. He sold his instruments piece by piece just to cover her hospital bills. When she passed, all that remained was an upright piano tucked away in a storage unit, a reminder of a dream he no longer had time to chase. David worked nights because it paid a little more, though it meant missing bedtime stories with Emily. Every night, he'd call her before school, his voice heavy with exhaustion but filled with love. "I'm working hard for you, baby. Someday things will be better." She always believed him, even when he didn't believe it himself. One evening, the company he worked for threw a grand event in the lobby, a corporate gala filled with men in tailored suits and women in sparkling gowns. The chandelier lights glittered, champagne glasses clinked, and laughter filled the air. David kept his head down, sweeping the edges of the marble floor, invisible among the powerful people who didn't even notice him. But then, someone did. A group of young executives, a little too drunk and too entitled, noticed him pushing his cart past the stage. On that stage sat a glossy black grand piano, untouched, meant only as decoration for the evening. One of them smirked. "Hey, janitor," he called. David froze, the broom in his hand. "You know how to play that thing? Or do you only know how to clean around it?" The group burst into laughter. David gave a small, polite smile. "I used to play a little," he admitted quietly. That only fueled their mockery. "Oh really? Then why don't you give us a show? Come on, let's see what the janitor's got." The room turned. Dozens of eyes now stared at him, some curious, some amused. David's heart pounded. He wanted to refuse, to shrink back into the shadows, but something inside him stirred. A quiet voice, the same voice that whispered to him when he tucked Emily into bed over the phone, "Don't give up, Daddy. I believe in you." With trembling hands, David walked up to the piano. He sat on the bench, his janitor's uniform looking out of place under the golden lights. The crowd chuckled, expecting a clumsy attempt at chopsticks. But then, he began to play. His fingers, though worn from years of scrubbing floors, still remembered the language of music. Softly at first, then with growing confidence, he poured his soul into the keys. It wasn't just music, it was his life. His grief, his love, his sacrifice, his endless hope for his daughter, all of it came rushing out in a river of sound. The room fell silent, the laughter died, conversations stopped, even the waiters carrying trays of wine glasses froze in their steps. The music filled the grand lobby, soaring upward as though reaching for the heavens themselves. By the time he finished, there wasn't a dry eye in the room. Even the CEO, a man known for his stone-cold demeanor, had tears streaming down his face. He rose slowly, the entire room following his lead with thunderous applause that shook the walls. David stood, embarrassed, his cheeks flushed. I'm sorry," he said softly, about to return to his mop. But the CEO stepped forward. "Don't you dare apologize," he said, his voice thick with emotion. "That was the most beautiful thing I've ever heard in this building. Son, what are you doing as a janitor?" David lowered his eyes. "I had to give up music when my wife got sick. I just needed to provide for my daughter." The CEO paused, visibly moved. He placed a hand on David's shoulder. "Then you've given up too much. From today on, you're not just our janitor. You're our new music director. We'll sponsor your daughter's education too." A man with that much talent, and that much heart, deserves better. Gasps filled the crowd. David stood frozen, unable to believe what he'd just heard. His chest tightened, tears stung his eyes. For years he had sacrificed everything, convinced the world had forgotten him. And now, because of one cruel joke that backfired, his entire life was about to change. That night, when David returned home, his daughter Emily was waiting by the window. "Daddy, you're home early," she squealed, running into his arms. He hugged her tightly, tears dripping into her hair. "Baby," he whispered, "our lives are about to change. Daddy's gonna play the piano again." And for the first time in years, David believed his own words. Sometimes, the world tries to humiliate us, to remind us of our place. But kindness, talent, and love have a way of shining through, even when least expected. What started as a cruel joke became a life-changing moment, not just for David, but for everyone who witnessed the power of resilience in music that night. If this story touched your heart, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more powerful stories that remind us all to never give up hope.